welcome back to another Stitches and Scribbles video. My name is Erin, and today we're actually going to be frogging a bunch of projects. This is kind of a different video that I haven't seen a lot of other people do, but I realized that I have a lot of whips that I haven't touched in months, or it's not turning out the way that I wanted to. So instead of just letting them sit in project purgatory forever, I thought that I would do some reorganization, frog some of the things that I no longer plan on finishing so that they can rejoin my yarn stash and be used for something else. The first project that I'm frogging is actually a baby blanket where, let's pull this out here. I started it way too wide, and this is knit, by the way, just all in garter stitch. Started it way too wide, realized I won't have enough yarn to finish it with the width I chose. If I had made it smaller, it would have worked. This is in the Loops and Threads Kai yarn in the color Mint Chip. So it's like minty greens and grays and white, definitely baby yarn. So I've just decided to frog this. I make a lot of baby blankets, and I think that I would rather use this yarn for a stitch that shows off the colors a little bit better, maybe doesn't take quite as long to make. So we're going to go ahead and frog this. You'll get a lot of yarn winder footage today, so if you like those like satisfying yarn winder videos, this will definitely be the video for you. So let's get to frogging. And now I have that yarn all caked up. I ended up with 4 cakes of yarn. It was 3 skeins originally. I did have one skein that hadn't been touched yet, but I like all of my yarn to look the same, so I went ahead and rolled that up as well. I did save the labels, so I'll pin those to the cakes once I put them on my shelf so that I can still tell what yarn it was. The second project I'm frogging, I'm actually a little bit sad that I decided to frog this one because I think the yarn is really cool, but the way that the pattern, or not pattern, the way that I was making up what I wanted to do wasn't quite working the way that I envisioned. So the yarn that I used for this is the Red Heart Super Saver Stripes in the color Bright Stripe. This is all sorts of neon colors plus black. Really cool yarn. My husband actually said it reminded him of like Halloween Town or like Halloween decorations. I was hoping to get a cardigan out of this. So when I started my original version of this project, I started with a big solid granny square for the back, continued it with more stripes at the bottom, and I had started doing one of the front panels of the cardigan. And while I think the shaping was fine, I realized that with this yarn, I really wanted a more intricate stitch design. I've been looking at like the Catherine's Wheel stitch or Bavarian stitch, something that will show off the color a little bit better and not have as many holes in between, because this is all double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and frog it. I'm also going to frog all of my extra skeins so that it all matches on my shelf, and then I do still plan to use this for a cardigan. I just want to change up the stitch pattern that I'm using for it. one up that I am frogging is actually one that I've been working on pretty recently. It's a triangle honeycomb shawl. The reason why I need to frog it is because if you look closely, I think I swapped my crochet hook size in the last couple rows. I don't know which one I was using originally, but something happened because those couple of rows don't look right. So I'm going to go ahead and frog this one. This one is made with the Yarn Bee Rainbow Rhapsody yarn. Instead of recaking this entire thing, I'm going to wind this little remaining section up into a ball and then just kind of tuck it back into the original skein so that I don't have to recake the entire thing. Alright, now that one's all wrapped up. I didn't show it on camera because it's not as fun to watch because I was just winding it into a little ball that I stuck back into the top so I can pull it out later when I'm ready to use this color again. The last project today that I'm frogging is actually a blanket. I was gifted a bunch of yarn from a friend who was moving and cleaning out her craft stash so that she didn't have to pack as much when she moved. And I had started a about twin size blanket that I was really excited about until I realized that it's almost the same colors as my temperature blanket. And I don't need two blankets in the same colors, especially because there's only one room in my apartment that has that color scheme. But this is what I was doing. It is a linen ripple stitch in crochet. Really cool pattern. I think I got this stitch off of one of Creative Grandma's Stitch of the Week tutorials. Gorgeous colors. Love how this was looking, but I don't need two blankets and I don't really want to work on it anymore. Since this is one row of each color, I'm probably not going to frog this actual piece. Instead, I'll sew the ends together because it's just the right size to make a cowl, and then that can be donated since I already have the piece worked up, and frogging all of those individual strands wouldn't give me any usable yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and wind up the remaining yarn for that, which is all in this tub, and show you what that looks like at the end. This is all the yarn I ended up with. So I have 4 of the baby yarn. I have quite a few of the neon multicolor and quite a few shades of blue and green as well. And then there's the yarn bee one and the leftover piece from the blanket. So I've got 1 coffee table worth of yarn. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that maybe this inspired you to clean out some of your projects that you don't intend to finish. I used to feel really bad when I didn't want to finish a project or wasn't able to finish a project for whatever reason, but I've now found that it's better to just clean those projects out and start fresh with something that I am interested in working on. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like more crafty things, you can check out some of my other videos. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more crafty things. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!